That's funny.
Yeah, I think we can close the game.
That is good. The guy we met, his mom, his mom started doing it, he started doing it. His name's Rocky also. I thought he was going to.
That might be time.
Wonderful. Sorry, come here. They were really good.
I like it. Seems kind of funny. We've been at this a while. I actually have been on the council for almost 10 years now, and this all started long before I even came around. Our leaders on the council and in our community seen a vision for something like this 10 or 15 years ago. That's why we have 2040 plans of what we need to look like in 20 years, and that's how you get to places like this. With that said, there's a lot of people to recognize. I hope I don't miss any. Forgive me if I do. But here goes my list. If you are on the Park Urban Forestry Board, would you hold up your hand so we can recognize you? Everybody give them a hand. These are the people that actually sit down and plan out what we should do and take a look at what the plans look like and make the approval of it. So they are instrumental in how we got here today. Also, I mentioned that we started this a long time ago. I'm looking for Mayor Dionabello. Did he show up yet? All right, he said he might be a few minutes late. He was part of the group. Cheryl Bannon, where are you at? There she is right over there. Mark Stats, yeah, give her a hand. Mark Stats wanted to be here. He was under the weather and not be able to make it. But we do have Mr. Chuck Warren with us tonight. Chuck, where you at over here? I wanted to mention that when we were on the council discussing all these things about this park, Chuck was the one that was pretty advocate about, not only do we need fields, but we need fields so we can take the pressure off the rest of our fields, so we got a place to practice. So if you don't have a place to practice, you really don't need a field to play on. And so a complex like this does a lot of things, and it takes some pressure off the rest of our fields. I also want to recognize our current council members. Let me get through the names, and then we'll give you all applause. Ricky Cornejo. Okay, Rocky, forgive me for that. Rocky Cornejo, Nick Ingles, Jack Heslop, Tom Kyle, John McIntosh is our council president, Von Nunn, Andrew Swindle couldn't make it tonight, and Jenny Webster's here. Everybody give them a big hand. When you're in a council meeting and you're talking about spending $11 million, I don't know how the rest of you feel, but it's a time to kind of pay attention to what's going on. There's a lot of big decisions that need to be made when you're doing a park like this. Another group that I want to recognize is Chris Drum and the DRC. I know we have several board members here. I'll tell you a story right quick. We couldn't get him. The simple math of the equation was we could not get to 4 ball fields, and really you need a quad complex to hold a good tournament. The DRC stepped in and said, hey, let us look and see what we can do to help you. They came on board and got us where we needed to be. Appreciate you guys. With this and the Hubbard Center, good job to the board. Everybody give them a big hand. I was talking to Mitch a minute ago. You know, the people that design and build these parks, we look around and we think, wow, this looks nice. When you're crawling around on your hands and knees, laying foundations and doing all that kind of stuff, you know, I don't think it has that same feel to it. So there's some people that put in a lot of time that we want to recognize. Nick with PEC's here. Nick, where you at? Right here? Hey, nice looking park. WDM with the architects. Matt, where did you go? Right there. Matt, good to have you here tonight. Give him a hand. We're going to page 2, and the good news is page 2 is the last page. I mentioned Mitch a little earlier. They were the construction firm that did all this. You know what? They had to battle their way through some weathers and different things before we got here. Everybody give Mitch and his wife a big hand for being here tonight. Where did you go, Mitch? I had you here. All right. Nice job. I also want to mention our staff. Somebody's got to be in charge. And that takes a team, and that team would be Steve White, Robert Mendoza, Kyle Mangus, and Kathy Sexton. Give them a big hand. I've already said this a couple times, but I'll say it one more time. You don't do these type of events without the money. We have some special groups and some special people that make some special donations that made this possible. And it's not the amount. I'm going to read the amount, so I think this group deserves to hear it. This is not something we really talk about a lot in public, but to give you some idea, the Derby Community Foundation gave us $1,600 for the water buffaloes and the play features. How nice are those? For those of you that have dogs here, I bet they've already been there. The Rotary Club of Derby donated $13,000 for our trees for our entry. We're going to give you a chance to tour that here in a minute, and you're going to appreciate what $13,000 does to beautify our park. Next, we're going to have a unveiling of a statue right here. Krista and Dr. David Drake has donated that to us. I lost you, Dave. Where you at? Right here. Give him a hand. Dave and I was talking just a minute ago, and I said, you know what? You really can't have a dog park without having some type of statue. We have kind of learned that with our fire department. We have the coolest statue in the world at our fire department, and now we're going to have another nice statue here. These next two have a lot in common, mainly the last name. And the first one is, I want to recognize the Decarsky Foundation for the $73,000 they contributed for the play features, the artificial turf, for the dock, and for the walkway to the pond. You know, I was telling everybody earlier, being a golfer, not a very good one, but being a golfer, golf courses always have their signature hole. Usually an island hole, usually something that is special. Well, right down this path right here, we have a pond and we have a dock. And I tell you what, there's a lot of really nice dog parks out there, but I bet we're in one of the categories I'd call one of the coolest dog parks. So, everybody give them a hand. Appreciate the $73,000. And I'm going to follow that up with the last contribution. You are standing on 63 acres of land that was donated to the city of Derby for this park. And officially, we have 4 ball diamonds, and we hope to get to 11 someday. So we have the land to do it on. And that is critical, that you don't start a project being underfunded and with not enough space to grow. That is estimated at a value of $800,000, and that is quite honestly the reason that we are standing here today. Vicki Decarsky, will you come up here and say a few words? Give her a great big hand, everybody. All right. You sure you want to do that?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
It's an honor to be here today, to be able to express my gratitude and appreciation for the people, the team that made this ballpark and dog park as awesome as it is. It always starts with a vision. In 2010, I think there was a Robert and a Kathy expressed to Tom that they wanted to build a ballpark in this very location. And it started there. Things had to begin to fall in place, and it did with started with the sales tax. And probably most of you here voted yes, and that kind of cinched the deal. Not until the sales tax passed in October 2013 was the city deeded this property. So I'm, like Randy said, with the 4th ballpark, Dr. Drake and his wife Krista, the Derby Community Foundation with their grants, now and in the future. Tom loved coaching Little League Baseball, and he loved his animals. And Tom, if he was with us today physically, he would be really happy. He would also say, Vicki, so when are they going to start phase 2? That's the way he thought. You know, he would want to know. So, just saying. Thank you, Derby. One last thing. I wanted to thank personally Steve White. He's done an awesome job as our new director of parks for watching. And talking about how Tom thought about the future. We have an awesome city manager. When she first talked to me about having the park here, it has to be in South Wichita, she said. She wants all the people that are coming from Wichita to go through and go to all the restaurants. She wanted help with the sales tax, so that's how she's gonna. That's the way this lady thinks. So thank you, Derby.
I need to tell a quick story. We're gonna get a picture.
Oh,
There you go.
I'm smiling.
You know, the quick story is I joke with people. I say, you know, you give us 63 acres of land, we'll name the park after you. But that really is not enough to do when you give us such a contribution. And this absolutely doesn't even get close. But if I get one of your family members to come up here,
Boy, grandson.
yep, just anybody that can carry
Family
a box.
daddy.
We have a small token of appreciation. Everybody give her a big hand. Okay, next thing on the list is we are going to cut this revenue. I do need to correct myself. I know the DRC is over there panicking. The number of parks is 8, not 11. So when you look at that next donation, I just about cut it in half for you. So that'll be a little easier for you next time. But with that said, what I'd like to do is get the Decarsky family to come up here with me, and I also need all my current.
Any kiddos? Any kiddos?
All right.
Any children? Oh, she's got a dog.
Okay.
Oh, he's doing fantastic. So blessed.
Okay, everybody hold on.
Thank you.
Steve, get in here. Your staff.
Okay, yes, sir.
Kathy, find a spot when you get a chance. Is everybody in tight?
You want to come up a little, and maybe Tom Kyle come up a little? Everybody spread out. Nobody should be touching. Everybody spread out. Back row people.
Back up a little bit.
Take a step back. Thank you.
You need to be forward.
Mindy, you want to come up?
Say when, Kathy.
Look at
You good? Okay, let me load the scissors. You grab hold of the bottom one. I'm going to count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Perfect song.
Somebody take the DJ levels off.
Okay, next.
You want me to do this?
4, 3, 2, 1.
There it is. Can you sit down for a minute?
Yep, you bet. Yes.
Sit down right next to that for a second.
There we go.
It's a good picture.
How many times have you lifted it?
Look right here and one big smile over there.
Get one down. David, Kristen, do you want to say a few words? Come on up to the mic. Yep.
You know, over the years, I've had many a client ask me when Derby was going to get a dog park. Well, now I can say it's here, and they're going to be glad about that. You know, I've had this statue in my office for a long time, and when they asked me that if I would donate it for this, I thought, what a perfect place. So, just thank you for letting me be a little part of this process. Thank you.
That was fabulous. Thank you so much. And thank you to our designers, because they figured out how to put a nice big rock there. Perfect for taking photos and sitting on, right? So you all, we promised you a short program, and we want to commit and stay to that. We are done with the formal part. Here's what's next. We're going to take a few photographs. So Derby, if you're here with the Derby Community Foundation and the Decarsky Foundation, I want you folks to come right over here. Do you see where I'm pointed? There's a plaque. Sorry for everybody standing in front of the plaque, but if you all would see that plaque, parking lots where there's trees and red chairs, where you will see the Rotary plaque. Everyone here who is a Rotarian, we would love for you to make your way over to the Rotary plaque. Robert will maybe lead you over there and hang out till we get our photo done here and we bring the photographers over. Or with your dogs. Please keep your dogs on leash. Ball fields. The rest of the park that will not open till the spring, but you get that sneak peek tonight. We would love to have you go explore the building and the ball fields and the batting cages and all that tonight. There are staff and architects.